Welcome, everyone, to another round of friendly fire. Welcome to WrestleMania. No.
Why are you doing this? Why are you scaring everybody?
Because that's how Vince did it, dog.
He was great.
No. See, now you're using the G word, and I don't appreciate it.
We don't agree. We don't agree on this. I thought he was an awesome commentator.
He was the worst commentator I've ever heard in my life.
Better than Michael Cole.
What?
Better than Michael Cole.
Hey, that's fucked up.
On that all day and night, baby.
It's fucked up, dog. I don't like the way you're talking to me right now.
I don't like Michael Cole.
I know you don't. Listen, there's a lot of people that don't like Michael Cole, and I'm on an island all by myself on that one.
I never got it.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I never understood. Much rather would have had Todd Pettengill.
I love Todd Pettengill. Todd Pettengill was the shit. Look at that shirt. Guys, first of all, welcome to Good Friends, Better Enemies. Look at that shirt, guys. Come on.
Vince.
Do-rag Vince. The E-Town Concrete.
I'm all dressed up for this. This is a special episode, and I really wanted to bring it.
He's bringing it, guys. I mean, you got the E-Town Concrete shirt or the E Street Band Concrete.
Yeah, well, Nick's a boomer, so he would call it the E Street Band. Bruce Springsteen from 1967 is what he puts up.
I love Bruce. You don't love Bruce?
No.
Oh, no.
He's awful. He's terrible.
Oh, I love me some Bruce.
I never got it. I never got that one either.
What?
Bruce Springsteen. I don't understand.
I think you either have to love Bruce or it's like it's one or the other. There's no one in the middle. Like there's no one's like, yeah, I like Bruce. It's like, I love Bruce, or it's like, eh.
I never heard him sing anything, and I went, damn, that was great.
Maybe we were born right.
We were oh yeah. And I'm from New Jersey.
Maybe we were born.
In case you fucking forgot, I'm from New Jersey.
My guitarist was in The Sopranos.
Like James Hetfield mixed with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
I love James Hetfield.
Well, who doesn't?
Some people don't.
Some people don't. All right. We went from Vince McMahon, James Hetfield, Bruce Springsteen. It's all related.
It's all related.
All related.
Don't even try to argue and say it.
I don't want to hear it. If you're going to come into this podcast and tell us that Bruce Springsteen and Vince McMahon aren't related, dog, what do we tell him?
Dude,
just don't.
Let me just tell you something. Man.
Go ahead.
Don't do it.
Don't.
It's not worth it. I'm never going to let it go.
Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
Somehow I'm still going to bridge them together, and they have nothing to do with each other.
All right. So, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, this is the Vince McMahon episode. It's probably not the Vince McMahon episode you guys are thinking, because we're going to dive into how we truly feel about Vince McMahon. Some good, most bad. So
let's talk about how it started, though, because I think it's like a weird episode, right?
This
happened because I've repeatedly texted Mike throughout the years that we've been friends, and we'll just randomly pop into my head how I just dislike Vince McMahon's booking.
It's true.
And I hate the documentaries when they call him a genius.
Thank you.
And it irks me. Yeah. It irks me to no end. So I texted Mike and I said, let's do a Vince McMahon episode where we could just let him have it.
This is true.
And set the record straight about how he's not that great.
I was going to say, it's pretty much we're going to dive deep into what Vince McMahon truly was from start to finish. We're going to start at the beginning, and I mean the beginning. Before that, if you guys notice, there is a... Hold on, it's right over there. Ow, that fucking hurt. I just got a cramp, dog. I just got a cramp.
Cramps. Got a cramp.
So right over there is going to be a QR code. Now, what that does is if you scan that while you're watching, you can't be listening and see a QR code unless, you're a little special. But the QR code will lead you to all of our pages. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Scan that while you're watching. Scan it. Send it to a friend. I don't give a fuck. But I'm tired of telling you people to do the shit you're supposed to do, so we're leaving it right up on the screen for you the whole fucking episode. Fuck off, bitches.
Let them know, Mike. Let them know. Let them know.
All right. Let's get into this, bitch, because we got a lot to go over. Part 1, The Boy Who Wanted the World. Now, before Vince became the most powerful man in professional wrestling, before all of it, I mean, literally, you have to start somewhere. So you're a boy. Now, Vince, believe it or not, grew up in poverty. He basically, his mother was a single mother. The father left her. The mother had constant, like, abusive suitors. Vince had a lot of stepfathers that were very abusive. And so that's where our story starts. Where it happened was, obviously, Vince born August 24th, 1945. He was born in North Carolina, Pinehurst, North Carolina. And basically, he didn't know his dad up until the age of 12, where he met Vincent McMahon, the owner of wrestling, WWF at the time. Now, after Vince met him, he realized, like, wow, look at this guy. He's, like, all polished, like, he's suave. Everybody looks up to him. And that's what Vince wanted. And that's what Vince went after. At an early age, Vince was telling his classmates that he was one day going to run the wrestling business that his dad owned.
Is that French? That was some French, man.
Basically, it wasn't Vince's ambition to run wrestling. It was his destiny, as we know it, would come to be true. Basically, 1969, Vince entered the wrestling business officially, but not as a promoter, as Mark's favorite, a ring announcer. But he learned everything. He learned how to book, how to produce, how to do commentary, talent. Like, he literally dove into every aspect of pro wrestling. Vince Sr. wanted his son to learn the business, but he didn't realize that Vince wanted to completely reinvent the business. So he was out there. Basically, Vince Jr. was out there to conquer the world of pro wrestling. By the early 1970s, basically, Vince is taking credit and control over just about anything. People would be giving out all of these ideas for wrestling, and he's taking credit for them. Mark, anything for so far as like the early stages of Vince McMahon? I know we're definitely going to go a lot into the later days when he's booking and shit, but anything yet?
Just like, I guess that explains why he's so cold, I guess.
Yeah.
And so business oriented, because his father wasn't really there for his childhood.
Right. And look what look what he grew up with as far as a father figure.
Yeah, he had, hard ass stepdads, right?
Right.
So it kind of explains why he's so cutthroat.
Yeah. No, absolutely. What did Vince want to do with his father's wrestling business? I mean, we were already starting to, at this point, Vince is already taking credit for others, trying to rewrite history, controlling the complete narrative of the pro wrestling game. At this point in wrestling, we're talking about the territory days. We're talking about, the Eastern Coast, the Western Coast, Midwest. I mean, you have all of these different pro wrestling territories. And there was one golden rule in pro wrestling. You don't invade someone else's territory. And we're about to see that Vince didn't give a fuck about anybody else's rules. All right.
To me, that move right there was like the nail in the coffin for wrestling, though.
What do you mean?
Him taking over territories would only leave him as his sole business in the world of wrestling.
Yeah.
So his idea was probably like, I'm gonna run everything, and you can come work for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not gonna be booked like what you were down there.
So you're definitely right to a degree. I mean, obviously Vince was trying to do a one ruler to rule them all kind of mentality. But in the same essence, I feel a very small part of Vince, a very small one, wanted to make wrestling bigger than it was. And I think that Vince thought the territory idea was a little too constricting for wrestling to grow into what it is today. I mean, we can get into it as much as we want, but I genuinely feel if Vince didn't take that large leap, we wouldn't have, obviously, the WrestleManias. We wouldn't have the massive production to wrestling. AEW, I mean, WCW wouldn't have been a thing probably. We don't know. But, it's the path that was taken.
No, it's because there were territories that WCW was a thing.
Yeah.
If he didn't let the territories live, then there is no WCW. I think that it was much healthier when there were territories.
I agree.
not every, if you're getting a wrestling business, usually you love wrestling.
Yeah.
You're not trying to make it a fucking huge entertainment business.
Well, that's essentially what it grew to, was not just wrestling but entertainment.
I'll
And
get into it later on,
yeah,
but you'll see over the years how I just think Vince didn't love wrestling.
I 100% believe you when you say that. That is probably the most telling statement of the Vince McMahon story
I
of
know
all
it's
of it.
weird to hear. I know it's weird to hear, though.
It is
Vince
weird to
McMahon,
hear.
he's the face of wrestling.
Right.
But I don't think that he loved wrestling for what it was. He saw, the games and the fucking and being on every channel and, the big thing that he wanted to do.
Right.
So it's like, I give him props for taking it there, and he did it, but he did it in a cutthroat way.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he was all about cutthroat. All about
Yeah.
it. All right. So Vince Jr. believed in something else entirely. Total domination. And pretty soon, his father's empire would become his own son's battlefield. So we're going to move on to part 2. I have this broken up into 7 different parts just to kind of, break it up. I was feeling a little cool and stuff. So part 2, the heir who broke the system. So look at young Vince.
Still looks 58 years old.
Dude,
he's literally like 18.
Isn't that so weird when you see, like, Bill Murray? Bill Murray was like perpetually like 65 years old. Doesn't matter how old he was. It freaks me out.
I feel like we're aging so good, like we look young still.
You think so?
And yeah, like I think I still look young.
Okay.
But like you look at I'm 38.
Okay, yeah.
These guys, they're 18, 19, 20 years old. They look 50 and 60 years old.
Yeah, and like Ric Flair.
He looked 60 when he was fucking 20 years old.
Forever, yeah. Like Ric Flair
Forever.
never looked a day under 40.
Yeah, all these guys, they age like fucking like milk. Actually, I think they got better. They got better looking as they got older, which is weird.
Well, they just basically fell into their appropriate age, is what what happened.
Well, they made more money. That's basically.
Well, that too. Yeah, you have plastic surgery.
I think we see where they wanted to be.
All right. So.
Come on. Flair's pretty.
What's that?
Flair's a pretty boy, man.
He is a pretty boy, but was he really pretty though?
No, but like the way he sold himself.
Yes. Yeah. Right? It's all about how you market yourself. Yeah, without a doubt. So February 21st, 1980, a day that will live in infamy. We got Vince and Linda founding Titan Sports Inc. And it was the company that essentially was going to swallow the entire wrestling world whole. 2 years later, after what?
No, terminology.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Like swallow it whole?
You swallow it whole.
Swallow.
You swallow the whole industry whole. He's pissed about it.
2 years later, Vince Jr. made his move. He struck a deal to buy Capital Wrestling Corporation, which was the parent company of WWF, from his father. Vince, at that time, didn't just buy a company. He bought a whole ass fucking weapon. For decades, wrestling in America was divided into territories. You had the National Wrestling Alliance. Promoters basically followed one strict rule. We talked about it just before. Don't cross each other's borders. Vince didn't care. He was about to cut that tie instantaneously. Vince, like you were talking about, Vince had this vision for wrestling. He didn't want it to be smoky arenas and local television. He wanted celebrities, music, spectacle. Vince was always about spectacle, and he always had that word. Like he always liked these like hot button words in his events and stuff. Like WrestleMania wasn't just an event. Like the word WrestleMania, it has something to it. You know what I mean?
It does. But I'm thinking now, we're going to get into it later, but I don't know if I should save it for later, but...
What's up?
It just popped into my head, just knowing how cynical he is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that he bought the company and did all this to get revenge on his father?
You know what's so crazy?
It's crazy because I just thought of this.
I have it in my notes. I was going to talk about it at the end because I didn't think either of us would bring it up until just now. I definitely think he did. Listen.
I think everything he does is like, it's a spiteful thing.
Yeah, and at the same token, like what's that?
He functions off being spiteful.
Yeah.
And you'll see it, and I'll show examples later on throughout his career.
Right.
How he's just a spiteful dude. It's like, being a business owner has no room for spitefulness,
No, no.
in my opinion.
There's a lot of problems that come with being a business owner and being that spiteful.
You'll see it later when we talk about it, but it's
Yeah.
like, dude, he could have made so much more money.
And listen, there are so many historical artifacts and interviews, and you talk to different people that knew Vince very well, and they swore that he loved his mother and he loved his father. I don't know, man. I mean, if you ask me, Vince is the type of person that's going to hide his true emotions from everybody except for himself. He's not telling.
I don't think he loved his dad. Maybe he loved his dad, but I don't know how he can, seeing his dad wasn't around the first 12 years of his life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how much do you love the guy that essentially abandoned you for 12 years?
Well, look at what actions speak louder than words, right?
Right.
The guy literally goes into the company to kill what his father has built.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's like, well, that's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I'm looking at it.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, listen, I had the same output, and I made a note to talk about that later on in our closing notes of all this.
It's like he used that spitefulness and his anger to drive him to do these things.
Right. Right. And what's so crazy, you want to, all right, we have to talk about this real quick because I'm going to lose this thought process. Think about what happened. And obviously we're going down the timeline of Vince and we're going to get there. But Vince took and bought out the company under his father's feet, basically swept the rug underneath him. Look what happened to Vince down the line. The company was essentially ripped from Vince.
Yeah, but the difference is this was his own son. Like
Biological son.
Shane didn't come in and fucking do that to Vince.
No, but
You know
Stephen
what I mean?
Hunter kind of did.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
No.
It's not the same. I feel like Stephanie did it out of love instead of spitefulness.
Okay, I actually think the other way.
They had to get him off TV for all the shit that he was going through.
Right.
I think she did that out of love to try to save his fucking name. Not that you can.
Right.
I feel like the damage was already done, but I feel like she did that out of love.
Fair enough. Okay.
Him
All right.
trying to save it. That's how I see it.
Okay. It's a good. I mean, honestly, it's a great optic, and I don't think that you're wrong. But I think there's also a little part of Stephanie that has that Vince in her, where she's still a little spiteful. But again, we're gonna get there.
When you grow up without your father, as the like in comparison, when you deal with like somebody that was a daddy's girl,
Right.
you know what I mean?
No, I
You're
get you.
not gonna have the same rage or that same anger. It's
Yes.
gonna drive you.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and Vince was there throughout their whole lives. He didn't abandon the kids like Vince
I mean, he's a
Senior did.
workaholic though.
Yeah.
He wasn't around a lot.
No, but apparently they were there at shows and shit, like constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. They grew up in the business. All right. So we're continuing on with our story of Vince McMahon. So we talked about how he wanted spectacle. He wanted something, and he needed something like a Hulk Hogan. Hogan was fresh off of Rocky III and basically became the face of Vince's national vision. You had Hogan on board, MTV on board, and now we have the rock and wrestling era. This basically turned wrestling from wrestling into sports entertainment. And in 1984, Vince was legit ready to risk everything. He mortgaged the company, took on debt. He wanted to create one single event that was going to change wrestling forever. And whether you love him or hate him, he did. But do you know what Vince originally wanted to call WrestleMania?
Wasn't it WrestlePalooza?
No, it's worse. It's even worse. He originally wanted to call it the Colossal Tussle.
Oh, come on.
Come on, dog.
I mean, just a prime example of the guy not knowing what the fuck he's doing, but having people around him that make it all work. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, so basically, Howard Finkel, one of the greatest ring announcers of all time, came up with the word WrestleMania. Did Vince ever give Fink credit for it? No. No, Vince took all the credit for WrestleMania. And again, listen, Vince mortgaged everything to put on the event. And basically, Vince was like that guy in the group project who was like, oh, I have this idea for the project. And then everybody else does the project. And the guy's like, well, I told you guys I had a great idea. You know what I mean?
He is that guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's...
I mean, he takes credit. He takes credit for every gimmick that took off.
Yep.
And it's not true.
No.
And I'm gonna talk about that later, but it's not fucking true.
What's funny is, and I'll give Vince credit for this. I was going to talk about it once we got to like the Attitude Era, but the character Mr. McMahon, who we're about to get into,
That
basically
was amazing.
yes, but it came out technically before Mr. McMahon became Mr. McMahon. Ted DiBiase was the Mr. McMahon character. Vince sold.
No.
Listen to me,
Come on,
dude. Listen to me. Vince sold Ted DiBiase this idea of the $1 million man on a plane ride and told him, "You're going to be the $1 million man. You're going to throw money around and you're going to talk about how you're better than everyone." Is it the Mr. McMahon character that we got? No. But Vince basically saw himself and was like, "I need a character on TV," and basically thought Ted DiBiase could be that character to portray him. Ted DiBiase, one of my favorite superstars as far as like gimmicks concerned in ring. He's so good and he's underrated. Ted DiBiase, the character, $1 million man. And again, it was just Vince basically saying, this is a character that I want to portray out there that is better than you. It uses money to basically get everything that they want in life. And he put it out there. We'll eventually get the Mr. McMahon character, but in the 80s, we essentially had it in a toned down way. Is the best way to put it. On Eastern Long Island just yet. They're working on it, but that's all I fucking hear is we're working on it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's pick up WrestleMania 1. WrestleMania 1 was a huge success and basically exploded WWF into the mainstream. And basically, as WWF exploded, a pattern started to emerge. One that writers, producers, wrestlers are going to complain about for decades upon decades. Vince took credit for everything good. And that's going to be the common theme here. Ideas that were pitched by bookers became Vince's idea. Innovations of talent and gimmicks, Vince's idea. I mean, it's literally a running gag in wrestling. And so I have a quote here that says, Vince didn't just want control of the company, he wanted to control the narrative. And I mean, that's
100% true.
Yeah, that's all Vince did.
WWE is so good at rewriting history and making their own history what they want it to be.
Yeah.
How many times have they done that through documentaries and shit like that?
I mean, honestly, one of the most, the most infamous documentary I've ever watched in my entire life was the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. And that was essentially Vince's fuck you to the Warrior. And he still came back. Dude,
got a way of getting you guys there.
I guess so. I mean, they smeared his fucking name like it was peanut butter on a sandwich. It's true though.
I mean, they've done it to a lot of people, man.
Yeah,
and they always come back.
Dude, look at how bad it was between Macho Man and the company forever, even past.
Am I echoing on your end?
No,
I'm echoing on my end.
No, I'm not getting an echo. Hold on.
Yeah, just stop it and play it back.
Yep. All right. So we were talking about Macho Man. Basically, even long after he died, there was this... I don't even know what to call it. I mean, there was just a negative aura around the name Macho Man. You couldn't speak the name. You couldn't have anything to do with it. And that was Vince controlling the narrative once again. And there's speculation as to what it was, but nobody knows the real story. I'm sure whoever does is going to hold it until their grave.
I think that was the stupidest mistake ever.
I hated it. I couldn't stand it.
Dude, the amount of money he could have made if he would have just put his pride to the side and his ego and just did the right thing with the WCW guys and the ECW guys he got.
Yeah.
He would have made a lot more money. I don't understand the spitefulness of cutting your own nose off to spite your face.
Never made any sense. It never made it. And it's...
Why would you hire guys just to bury them?
And of course, that is definitely coming up soon. What I want to bring up right now is there's a company out there now, AEW, and the owner of the company is essentially just a pro wrestling fan. And the positives about this company are he's willing to just give to the fans something to enjoy. And I feel like for a very long time, Vince did not want to give to the fans something they enjoyed.
He wants to go against what you want.
Almost all the time.
I mean, he literally comes out and says it.
Yeah.
Oh, you want that? I'm going to give you the opposite. I mean, basically saying you're going to watch it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I going to give you what you want?
Right.
Dumb. I think that's stupid.
But I mean, how right was he to a degree? I mean, I see it all over the internet. I see, I'm never watching WWF again. WWF sucks. I mean, WWE now, but it's like, I'm never watching it again. I'm tired of the product, this and that, yada, yada. But it's the same fucking guys that are watching it every Monday. Every premium live event, they're watching it. It just... we're sucked in, and I'm guilty too. I'm sucked in, and I have been since I'm 2 years old.
Yeah, but just because you know that you have a loyal fan base doesn't mean you have to kick them in the face.
Completely agree with that sentiment. Yes, you're right.
I mean, that's pretty much what he did for years.
Yeah.
Years and years.
Yep.
I have examples ready to go off the top of my head. So.
All right, so we're almost there where we're really going to dive in. So July 14th, 1984, basically a day known as Black Saturday, Vince appears on TBS Superstation announcing that the WWF is going to take over the WCW time slot. And this sent people into a frenzy. Promoters were furious, fans confused, and Vince was just getting started. But with everything, there's always problems, so we're on part 3 now. Steroids, scandals, and survival. In '89, Vince's wife, Linda, she apparently wrote a memo warning that the company's ringside physician, Dr. George Saharian III, should no longer be used because he was distributing steroids. And 2 years later, he was convicted of distributing steroids. It was an entire scandal. That picture up there is the infamous Vince in the neck brace at the hearing. And the big thing with this trial was because of all the turmoil going on between Vince and Hogan, they thought Hogan was going to turn on Vince. And it's so crazy because all Hogan had to do was go, yeah, my boss forced me to use steroids or supplied me anything. He didn't. Hulk Hogan saved Vince McMahon's ass. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I think Hogan did that for his own well-being.
You think so?
Yeah, because then he would have a company to come back to. If Vince goes down, now you have no WWE. so there's no company for him to negotiate with.
It's true, but this is when WCW gave Hogan a really lucrative deal, and I mean, he was just coming in. It wasn't like listen, I could be wrong. I don't think he was looking back at any point going, I can still go back there.
But why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If Vince is going, hey, I'll give you whatever you want. Oh, those guys gave you $2 million. I'll give you $3 million. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah, who knows back then? Yeah,
let's say around there. I'll give you $3 million a year for the next 20 years.
Right.
How would Hogan say no? But if there's only one company, now you have no room to negotiate. So I think he was doing that for his own. Because I think Hogan's a very smart businessman.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him thinking 10 steps ahead like that.
I agree.
For his own well-being.
Yeah. All right. So, basically, the steroid scandal could have been enough to destroy anyone alone, but that wasn't all Vince was dealing with at this time. In 1992, Phil Mushnick, who is a New York Post sports columnist and a very controversial character by himself, he began a series of publications that were detailing sexual allegations of abuse within WWF at the time, including the Ring Boy scandal. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Ring Boy scandal. Basically, what's that?
I don't know. Say some.
So basically, employees of the WWF would sexually abuse young ring crew members, and it was all kept hush hush. More, quiet money and under the table NDAs and stuff like that. And former referee Rita Chatterton appeared on the Geraldo Rivera show and accused Vince of sexual assault. Obviously, they were vehemently denied by Vince, but there's a lot of this cloud of storm above Vince's head between the steroids and now this sexual assault scandal. So obviously everything in tandem is really weighing heavy on him. And on top of all this, Vince thinks, hey, this is the perfect time to start something called the WBF, the World Bodybuilding Federation, which was a colossal failure by Vince. And one of many, by the way.
Are you surprised?
But I think Vince got in his head that, like, well, I was really successful with pro wrestling, and look what I did. I have to do this because he's done it with bodybuilding, or tried it. He tried it with football. I mean, he just felt at a certain point he had to feel like, I'm untouchable. Like, anything I touch is going to turn. He was Midas, or he thought he was.
They've all been failures.
Yeah.
Besides WWE.
Yeah.
And he's lucky. He's lucky a lot of times. Because they almost went under a bunch of times. So
I was going to say, yeah.
He got very, very lucky.
Extremely lucky on multiple accounts.
They were like an inch away from going out of business.
Dude, and not even just like WWF going under, but once we get to it, him buying WCW was literally like every single little piece of the structure had to fall in line properly for it to work. And again, I have it all written down, but it's insane how for so long this son of a bitch had everything. He was falling ass backwards into golden shit every day of his life.
Listen, I know he worked hard.
Yeah.
He's a very driven individual. He's very intelligent in other ways. But when it comes to, I guess when it comes to like booking, right? That's where I'm like, I don't know what you're seeing here. I don't get it.
So I think the booking, it really starts to take effect, and I think we're really starting to gravitate into how Vince failed at booking. So July 22nd and 23rd, we have the jury returned its verdict for the whole steroid scandal, and it was not guilty on all accounts. And what happened because of it was Vince had to essentially transition from bodies and big, bulky guys to the new era. And, I mean, he was all about these gimmicks that failed so miserably. And it's like he was literally just throwing shit on a wall and seeing what stuck. You know what I'm saying?
This was all Vince.
Yeah.
The new generation era was all Vince. And it was awful. It was terrible. You had a couple of little, you had Brett, you had Shawn, you had Razor. You had a couple of great ones, right? Undertaker, of course. But, man, dude. Overall, I mean, dude, he what he was greenlighting and what he was saying is going to go over and be great. I don't understand.
I don't get it.
I mean, diaper matches and all this stupid shit he was doing, and kiss my foot matches. And,
yeah.
Let's put the thing on a pole, flag on a pole. These are things I'm just like, dude, nobody wants to see this shit, man.
Well, I mean, you got to realize, like, before he was Kane, we had Glenn Jacobs as Isaac fucking Yankem, a dentist.
Dude, we had the sanitation worker, we had a hockey player, you had a rooster.
Duke
right?
I was going to say Duke. Listen, and I know I'm probably going to sound stupid for saying this, but the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor, was a great fucking wrestler. You shit on him and put him in the shitty gimmick. Look what he did to fucking Dusty Rhodes.
Look what he did to everybody in that whole era, besides maybe Brett.
Yeah.
And Shawn.
Well, even Shawn was kind of still coming into his own. He really wasn't established.
He never embarrassed Shawn, though.
No, he didn't.
He never made Shawn dress up as a fucking, as a clown. Or, you know what I mean? He could have easily been like, listen, you want to get to the main event, you're going to be a fucking whatever, a sanitation worker,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that would have been an idea that he would have said, this is a great idea. This is going to go places.
Oh, he would have pitched. And that's the thing, too. Vince was like the worst fucking used car salesman ever. He'd be like, this is great. You're going to love it. It's going to be the best fucking thing ever. And like, you're sitting there and you're listening to this guy and you're like, oh yeah, this guy really believes it. So you believed it.
But imagine just having such a huge ego that you see your ratings going down weekly.
Yeah.
Weekly, the company's about to go under, and you're still saying, no, I still want to run with this.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to change. He didn't want the Attitude Era.
No, but he was forced to do it.
Yeah, but he really fought against it. Actually, I just found out in an interview from somebody, I don't remember who it was, but they said that when Stone Cold Steve Austin cut his promo at King of the Ring, a month later Vince wanted to turn him back into the ringmaster because it was his idea.
Yeah.
Well, it just shows you how ridiculous this guy is.
I think that was Michael Hayes, if I'm not mistaken. 'Cause
It might have been Michael Hayes.
I think I remember hearing Michael Hayes tell that story.
He said he wanted to turn Stone Cold Steve Austin back into the ringmaster.
Because it wasn't his idea.
Yeah, it was Austin's.
Right.
So he doesn't like that.
No.
He doesn't want you to be self-made.
No. I mean, listen, he loved his larger-than-life superstars, but he wanted to basically be the person that was like, this is the larger-than-life superstar I created. He didn't want those larger-than-life superstars to be organic, I guess is the best way. He hated the idea of the Daniel Bryans, but he loved the idea of Roman Reigns because he was force-feeding us the Roman. And I love Roman Reigns now. I couldn't stand the fucking shit they were force-feeding us from Roman. And I guarantee you, if you ask Roman any day of the week, he'd be like, I really didn't like what they were doing to me, and I really wish they would have kind of turned me sooner.
He needed that, and he needed to hit the he needed to get some lessons from Heyman.
So that's the thing. Like, okay. So we're about to get into the Attitude Era, and we're about to get into like the prime of like the three biggest wrestling promotions in history of wrestling: WCW, ECW, and WWF, all together at one fucking time. As a wrestling fan, there was no greater time to be alive and a wrestling fan than this time, because you had so much to choose from, and they all offered something different, which was even better. But two of the three fucking promotions had incredible minds narrating and molding those companies. The one that wasn't was the WWF, and it was the one that fucking survived.
Well, you had JR there, you had Vince Russo, you had Ed Ferrara, and those guys were writing great TV at the time.
Yeah.
Not everything was great.
No.
But you know what? They knew how to pivot, and they could do it.
Right.
Bruce Pritchard really wasn't bringing anything great to the table, and neither was Vince McMahon.
No, but
his old cronies from the early 90s weren't bringing it in the Attitude. You needed Vince Russo.
Right.
You needed Ed Ferrara, because without them, you weren't getting any of that Stone Cold shit.
No.
None of that. He wasn't driving no fucking beer truck without Vince Russo there.
No, I mean, honestly, you had to have somebody that had their finger on the pulse. These people had to know what fans wanted, and fans are ever changing. Fans are forever going to basically narrate the story for you if you listen to them. Bischoff knew it, and Bischoff was like, we gotta, like, these fans want something real. They want something organic. And I don't want to get too far ahead. So, you know what? Let's just do this. So, basically, after everything that we just talked about, Vince walked out of that courtroom basically thinking to himself he can get away with murder. But now, on top of everything he's already dealt with, there's a war brewing on the wrestling industry. And it's a war that Vince didn't even start. And for the first time in his life, he's losing. And what I'm talking about is on September 4th, 1995, was the date that changed wrestling forever. And we're on part 4 now, The Attitude Emperor. And basically what happened was WCW Monday Nitro debuted on TNT. And it aired head-to-head with Monday Night Raw. And at the time, Raw was... I mean, I don't even know how to describe Raw back in the day. It was not what it was today. It was in, like, this small... I'm trying to remember the name of the venue that they used more frequently than not. I think it was in New York City, if I'm not mistaken, right? Do you remember the name or no?
I don't remember the place. So.
Okay. So it was small, which, to be honest with you, I don't hate small venues for wrestling events. It almost gives it that, because like the ECW arena was incredible. Such a huge vibe for wrestling when you watch old ECW events, and like just the way that they're produced and shown is so different from WCW or WWF. And now we have a company that's literally willing to go toe-to-toe with Vince and take him on. And he's got all of Vince's old golden boys. He's got Hogan. He's got Macho Man, Ted DiBiase, Kurt Hennig. I mean, guys were flocking to WCW because of the pay structure and lighter schedules. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, Eric Bischoff had a huge advantage. He had
Turner.
Ted Turner's money, who's a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
This is before Vince was a billionaire. So Ted Turner's a billionaire. Vince is about to go bankrupt, right? And I feel like you said that Vince didn't start this, but I feel like he did when he started going into the territories.
The territories.
This was revenge for that.
Yeah.
You think the old NWA guys didn't forget? They didn't forget, dude.
I know.
So like this was all revenge, and I think that Ted Turner. I mean, I don't know him personally or anything, but I think he was a wrestling guy.
He was.
He liked wrestling.
He was.
Right, and he had the money to take all his top talent.
Mm-hmm.
This was revenge. This was he had to have this happen to him. And look how he navigated it, and he literally almost booked himself into bankruptcy.
Yeah, he did.
Before the Click and Austin and DX and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Austin doesn't take off, that company's done.
Yeah.
There is no WWE, and he wasn't going to pivot.
No.
Well, if he's such a fucking genius, why wouldn't you pivot?
I mean, that's clearly the $1 million question here. So we're at a point where Vince is essentially losing to WCW week in and week out in ratings, because back then it was all about ratings.
Getting destroyed.
Yeah. So
NWO was so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And I know Bischoff got that idea from Japan, but the way he executed it was
flawless.
Just flawless. The original NWO, I'm not talking about what it became.
No, I know what you mean.
The original NWO was done beautifully.
Yeah.
Turning Hogan heel at a time when he was getting booed out of the arena was the fucking, dude, icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Cherry on top, whatever you want to say. It was beautifully done. What was Vince doing? I mean, Austin cuts that amazing promo, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still don't fucking start booking and put a fucking fire under his ass. You still are booking him in opening matches.
Yeah.
This is your hottest guy that you have on the fucking roster.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It took Vince a year and a half.
I was gonna say almost 2 years. Yeah.
All right, so 2 years to realize that that's your guy.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Dumb, dude. Dumb.
Yeah.
You're not listening, obviously.
No.
You're not listening to the crowd. You're not watching them by the Austin 316 shows. Austin should have had a push way earlier. Not that he had all the talent to work with, because really there was really not many people left.
No.
He worked with people he was going to work with. But if Vince was smart, he would have gave in to Razor Ramon and Diesel's fucking demands.
I agree.
He is an idiot for that, letting them go. That gave Eric Bischoff all the fucking fire he needed, all the gasoline he needed to put on that fire.
Without a doubt. And basically what Mark's talking about, guys, is summer of 1996 was, I mean, arguably the greatest moment in wrestling history. And listen, there are tons of the Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre, this, that. And if you think about it, Hogan is involved in a lot of the greatest moments in wrestling history. But this one specifically, you had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash going over to WCW. What's the matter?
No, I was saying he's Hulk Hogan, of course.
Well, yeah, I know.
Biggest name ever.
Yeah.
I mean, ever, dude. When you think of wrestling, that's the guy.
Yeah. When you think of wrestling, you think Hulk Hogan.
Especially at that time.
Without a doubt. So, Hulk Hogan, as Mark said, he turned heel. And now you have this NWO storyline. And with the NWO storyline, WCW has beaten WWF for 83 fucking weeks in a row. Just listen to that and think about it. 83 weeks, man, that's a long-ass time.
And a lot of those shows, I thought WWE was way better.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the fan base because Vince lost their trust.
Yeah.
Once again, with his shitty booking.
But you know what it was, too, with that 83 weeks, and I really feel this way, it wasn't just, and think about how successful the Attitude Era is, too, or was, I should say, sorry. WCW was pushing out mid-card talent that people were getting behind, main event talent people were getting behind, undercard, like, nothing was failing with WCW.
Everything was the whole card.
Yeah.
He brought the Lucha Libres.
Yep, the cruiserweights.
I mean, he was pushing the cruiserweights. He was the tag teams. Everything was getting shine. Even Disco Inferno and fucking Norman Smiley and guys like that, they were getting prime fucking time on Nitro.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Eric Bischoff was running things the way I thought Vince should have been running things.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Stop fighting what your fans want, and just give them what they want. Obviously, Doink the Clown isn't a draw anymore, bro.
When was Doink a draw, for the record?
It was a time
Well,
in '94 when people wanted Doink the Clown,
yeah.
Doink and Dink, right? Like that was like a thing.
I was fun.
Well,
Yeah.
by '96, people wanted NWO.
Yeah.
They wanted that. They didn't. They wanted the black shirts. They didn't want the neat '80s neon colors anymore.
Well, you've always said it, and I think, honestly, it reigns so true, and it's one of the things that you say so often when we talk about wrestling. You don't want your intelligence insulted when you're watching the product. And no offense, but Vince was insulting our fucking intelligence consistently. And Bischoff was like, I'm not going to insult your intelligence. I'm going to give you something you want. I'm going to give you something that's organic.
Bischoff just understood what was cool.
Yeah. So did Paul. Paul just didn't have the money that fucking Eric had. If you had flipped those two, could you imagine?
Heyman at the time was way ahead of those guys.
Yeah.
Who the fuck, if you watch ECW, who the fuck is booking a show like that? It was insane.
So crazy.
When you're a kid, when you're a 10-year-old kid and you turn on TNN and ECW is on and Taz is cutting a promo cursing.
Yeah.
And dude, you're like, what the fuck? You're not allowed to curse and, wrestling. Like, I'm used to new generation, people coming, Marty Jannetty and shit like that.
Yeah.
Not fucking Taz. You know what I mean? And Sandman and Raven and all that.
Well,
dude, it was amazing. It was amazing.
If you
and
think
go
ahead.
To Vince's credit, he did fund this. He didn't write the show.
No.
But at least he was smart enough to fund it and keep it alive for as long as he did.
But now think about this. Think about ECW. You just mentioned a couple different names. Raven was Johnny fucking Polo in WWF, was doing nothing, goes over to ECW, becomes this fucking gold mine. Leaf Cassidy in WWF was doing nothing, goes over to ECW. They gave him a fucking styrofoam head. He became a fucking gold mine. Like, it's just like Paul knows how to mold talent that isn't being molded somewhere else.
Dude, he took Saturn. And look what Vince did with him.
I know.
Like, he made Saturn like a fucking badass wrestler, and Vince has him wrestling mops and having a mop as a girlfriend. This is what I'm saying.
It's so ridiculous.
All the money he left on the table burying those guys, to me, just shows you he's not that bright in the business in writing wrestling. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He has no instincts.
No, he really doesn't.
It's all ego driven. It's all I do. Do what I say, right? I'm Vince McMahon. You just do what I say.
Yeah.
He's not getting checked.
No, he has.
Like if I'm his son, if I'm Shane, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, Dad, you're gonna fucking bury all these guys? We could make so much money with them.
He had so many yes men around him, and he loved it. He loved hearing, Vince, everything you're doing is great. You're doing such a good job. Every decision you're making is perfect. He loved it.
You had no option.
No.
There was no option to go against what he wanted.
No, because you'd be fired.
You had to be a yes man.
Yeah.
That to me, and then also it's like it feels like the minute that he didn't need you anymore.
Oh, he was done.
Or like the minute that you ran your course.
Yeah.
He's done with you.
Well, look at what he did to Macho Man, to Mr. Perfect, to Roddy Piper. He literally was like, "Oh, you guys aren't going to be shit. You're going to be commentators." And they were like, "No." Like, I mean, they did it, but they were so fucking aggravated, and they were aggravated enough to go to a different fucking company that probably was like, "Listen, you'll wrestle. It's just not going to be as many dates, but we're going to give you some good money." They just wanted to fucking wrestle, and Vince was like, "No, you're done." Vince told the guys when they were done. They didn't tell Vince when he was done, when they were done.
But like, why? Macho Man's still a draw. Mr. Perfect's still a draw. Like,
huge.
What are you doing?
Piper, dude.
What are you doing? Why wouldn't you put the belt on Razor?
I don't know.
why? Like what? Like I don't understand the booking here.
I don't understand why you thought it. And I'm not trying to disparage Diesel or Kevin Nash at all. I love Kevin Nash. He's not the greatest fucking wrestler, but he was such a marketable champion. But you're going to tell me that Razor Ramon wasn't a marketable champion? One of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time.
In history.
What?
He's the worst strong champion in WWE history. He's not a marketable champion. Your marketable guy was Razor Ramon.
Well, I meant marketable as far as like look. Like that's what I mean, and that's what Vince was going for. The
Time
look.
a dozen.
Yeah,
Time a dozen.
Yeah.
Anybody, dude. Kane could have been fucking Diesel, which he was. He was fake Diesel.
I was gonna say he was.
You could have easily took Isaac Yankem and put him in the Diesel role. It would have been the same fucking thing. I bet you Kane would have did it better.
Well, he tried.
I'm not knocking Kevin Nash.
Right.
I like Kevin Nash, but I don't really see how he's a fucking what he is.
I don't know.
I get it. I like Kevin Nash, but I feel like he's a little overrated.
Put it this way. WrestleMania 11, arguably the worst WrestleMania in history. Your title match was Diesel versus Shawn Michaels. It didn't even make the main event. They put Lawrence fucking Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow as your main event because somehow, some way, Vince knew that that was going to draw more than Diesel and Shawn. Not because Shawn wasn't a draw, because I'm sorry, Shawn was a good draw. He wasn't a great draw, even when he became...
But he wasn't. But he wasn't.
I know.
It sucks, but he wasn't. I hate to say that about Shawn Michaels. I love Shawn Michaels, but he wasn't a draw.
Not back then.
No, he wasn't his career is very weird because, like I said the other day when we were talking about this,
Yep.
he was only on top for a year.
Yeah.
You got to figure, 95, he's not the top guy.
No.
Brett.
Yeah, it's Brett.
96, Brett steps down.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn takes his place. Then he loses a smile, and he's gone. Then he comes back to form DX.
Yeah.
He fights up until WrestleMania. He's gone again.
Yeah.
For 4 years. He didn't have, like, his run at the top was so small. And under his run, they almost went out of business.
Yeah.
So he was not a good draw.
No. Well, I mean, think about it.
For some reason, people not want to see him. I don't get why. They were booing him at the shows.
Yeah. Yeah. No offense, but his second coming, his second run, far surpasses his first run. Or, I mean, I don't even know. I guess we'll call it his first run.
His first run, his first singles run.
Yes. Okay.
Of the 90s. Great matches, but nobody gives a fuck about them.
But
I hate to say that.
Here's what I'll say about him, though. You put him in the mid-card as an Intercontinental Champion, I'm watching every fucking day. As an Intercontinental Champion, that motherfucker put on matches. He had segments that I was literally glued to my fucking television for. As the main draw, I don't know. Like, they were putting against fucking Vader, and, like, it was just weird, man. It was just didn't make sense.
You against Vader, and then you bury Vader.
Yeah. Why?
You should have made Vader indestructible.
Yes. Thank you.
Should have ran through Michaels like he was nothing. And Michaels has to work his way back to get revenge. That's how you do it, dude.
Yeah.
For some reason, all of a sudden, whatever instincts that you might have had out the window in this whole era.
Yeah. So.
I mean, luckily for him, he made the Vince McMahon character. This is where he's a genius.
Yes. This
is where he excels.
So the Vince McMahon character, we're going to start growing into that. We're going to start right here. November 9th, 1997. The Molson Center, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. If you're a wrestling fan, you know this moment so fucking well. And a lot of people call it the powder keg of the Attitude Era. Basically, Bret Hart, 14-year veteran in the company. He had the title, and he had one stipulation while he was on the way out to WCW. I will not drop the title to Shawn Michaels. Now, it's Vince's company.
Wait, can we just talk about it?
What's up?
Okay, can we just say something real quick?
Go ahead, man. You can say whatever the fuck you want. It's your show.
Shows you what a scumbag Vince is.
Yeah.
That he would put Shawn and Brett, right? Shawn versus Brett, knowing that Brett doesn't want to put Shawn over.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you switch the guy?
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Yeah. But my thing is, like, Taker even said, Taker's like, I'll give me the title and I'll drop it to Shawn. Taker had no problem doing it.
That's what I'm saying. It shows you what a scumbag he is.
Right.
He's doing that on purpose.
In Montreal.
He could this whole thing could have been completely avoided.
Agreed.
All you had to do if you didn't want to take Brett out of the main event or Shawn out of the main event was make it a triple threat, and the third guy wins. Neither one of them win.
Yeah.
Now the belt's still in the company. You could have put it on Taker, could have made it Brett, the best of the new generation era, right? Undertaker, Brett, Shawn, have Undertaker win.
Yeah.
Easy. I don't understand. This whole thing could have been avoided. I think he did this on purpose. Once again,
we 100% did it on purpose.
Yeah.
I wonder to this, and I'm not saying it was a work, but I wonder if Vince knew just how much this was going to blow up in his face, and he fucking ate that shit up. I think Vince was 3 steps ahead of everyone else when he was like, I'm going to screw Brett over on live television. I'm going to birth this Mr. McMahon character. I'm going to have to take a bunch of shit, but it's going to be brilliant after the fact. Almost as if it was a work, but I don't think it was a work, but it's almost like you have to think like,
too much
you think so?
Yeah, you're giving way too much credit, dude.
I don't know,
There's
man.
no fucking way he knew that thing. There's no way he knew that was going to happen.
Well, he pivoted on this then. Because you had to pivot.
In a stupid way.
Yeah.
He pivoted in a stupid way, though.
No. What I'm not talking about like pivoting on the screw job itself. I'm saying after the screw job, he pivoted really fucking well to capitalize on it.
All right, but he had help.
Yeah.
You got to remember, Austin's there.
I was going to say, this is Austin now. And here's my thing.
Yeah, this is Austin's time.
I don't think Mr. McMahon would have survived without Austin, but I think Austin could have survived without Mr. McMahon.
100%.
Yeah.
You just put Austin a feud with anybody.
Yeah.
It would have went over at that time.
Because you could
It's like,
Good.
the only reason the Mr. McMahon character worked was because his whole time was trying to destroy Austin's title run.
Right.
The only reason it worked.
Yeah. It's true.
But I think without Vince, Austin still would have prospered.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Because you can transplant anyone in the Mr. McMahon spot and still have it work to a degree. I mean, you could have ran a Zamboni at anybody trying to take out Stone Cold. You could have had the beer truck against anybody. And that's what made it was great because it was Mr. McMahon and it was his boss and this and that. But it's Stone Cold made that shit work.
It definitely made people fall more in love with Austin, though, because now he's beating up his boss.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Who didn't want to beat up your boss?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You see him beating up your boss, you're like, this guy's the fucking man. And he's drinking beer at work, too.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's the king.
Fucking great.
So, yeah. I mean, Mr. McMahon was great, too, though, man. This is where I think he's natural.
But why do you think the Mr. McMahon character worked so well? Why was it so natural?
Because of Austin. Well,
no.
Also, it was basically him being himself.
There you go.
Behind the scenes. I think it was him being what he wants to be out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But now he gets to do it and say it. Not that he wouldn't say it anyway.
Right.
But now he gets to just be that guy on TV.
Every great WWF superstar at one point in time is a version of themselves just amped up to 11. That's all it is. And Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon character was just himself amped up to 11. Simple as that.
What I like about it, though, is that as driven as Austin was, Vince was just as driven.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was like this. It was like constantly pushing each other to see how far we could take this.
Yeah. I will give Vince credit for this. That son of a bitch put himself through hell to save and protect his company. Him and Shane took bumps and did shit no business owner is ever going to fucking do. No one's going to do that shit.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing watching him do that shit.
Although he never took a good stunner. I will say that. Vince took the worst stunner ever.
He never took good anything.
No, he was an awful seller. Awful.
But you know what? I didn't care. I gave him a lot of respect for doing it.
He didn't have to. No, I agree. And again, respect where respect is due, without a doubt. All right. So we're in the Attitude Era. everything is going Vince's way. Everything is coming up roses. He's beating WCW. And then one severely unfortunate incident in 1999. May 23rd, 1999, the Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. Brett's younger brother, now Brett's in WCW at this point, and Owen unfortunately falls around 78 feet into the ring, died from blunt force trauma at 34, leaving behind his wife and 2 kids. And I don't care how you slice it. I don't care if you call me a piece of shit for saying this. This is Vince's fault. This is all Vince's fault, the way that he fucking died. And I'm sorry. Like, I know Owen gave the go-ahead. I know Owen did this, but I don't know. Like, let me ask you this question. Do you think Vince made the right decision to keep that pay-per-view going and not cancel it that night?
That's a weird one, man. I don't know. Like me, if it was me, I would have said we're going off the air.
Yeah.
Sorry. You know why he stayed on the air? He didn't want to get refunds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's so cold, though. That's so cold. Like, but you have to understand, he doesn't have feelings like me and you do.
I know.
He doesn't hold anything personal.
But
everything's just business. Even Owen dying is just it's just like business to him.
Yeah, and that's so like, and I know that he's gone on the record and like, oh, Owen would have wanted us to go. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, dude,
Everybody said that.
The worst part of that whole night, aside from Owen actually dying, Undertaker comes out to the ring. He takes off his hat and he's staring at Owen's blood on the fucking like you saw tears well up in Taker's eyes. Oh. What the fuck?
And, like, they have to come out and fight basically in his blood in the ring.
Acting like nothing's wrong.
And this guy, like, I don't know. Like, we're not there. I don't know how he feels. I'm not, I don't know his heart or anything. But it just he seems like so not caring about his talent.
Yeah.
Because, like, look, like, when the guy gets injured, right? Well, like, when a guy loses a family member, look how he talked to Mark Henry when Mark Henry's mother passed away. Mm-hmm. I know you're a mama's boy, so go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, like, I'm sorry about your mother. Yeah, take some time off. I know that you were close to your mother.
Right.
That's how a real businessman or a boss would talk to you.
Right.
Not, I know you're a mama's boy, so go home and come back when you're ready.
Yeah.
The way he just doesn't care about, and these guys literally put their necks on the line. For him.
Above and beyond put their necks on the line. I mean, with Owen Hart dying, there was basically this negative aura hanging over the WWF. I mean, these guys during the Attitude Era, I mean, Mick Foley, Taker, Ken Shamrock, it's a laundry list. But they were taking unprotected chair shots, Hell in a Cell matches, brain damage, painkillers, muscle relaxers, sleeping pills. Literally 250 days a year on the fucking road or more with no off season. They had no union. They're independent contractors. It's literally just nonstop chaos for these fucking guys. And there were not, and I repeat, they were not making what they are making today. Not even close, man.
Far from it.
Really bad,
dude. And I always wondered, like, they don't get health benefits. They don't get none of that.
They're independent contractors, so they're in charge. So here's the way that it worked out from what I've read and been told. They're independent contractors. They're in charge of their own health insurance, but like major surgeries and shit like that, the company paid for. Like if they had like a broken arm or a tooth in their nose and some shit like they need to get stitched up, that was all covered by the company. But
so technically, he's not their employer then.
They're independent employers, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he keeps saying, I'm the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not the boss then.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
That means I should be able to come and go as I please.
Mm-hmm.
That means I should be able to do as I want, as long as I follow the contract that we have.
Mm-hmm.
These are all. So he's basically getting away with murder here again.
Yes. Yes. Yes, he is.
He's telling you don't work. I'm not your employer, so I don't have to provide you with benefits or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, man. It's fucking insane.
Dude, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Unless you're an Austin or a Rock and you don't care because you're making $45 million a year or whatever they were making.
Right.
They were making crazy number, $10 million a year at the time, whatever they were making.
It wasn't, so their money that they made wasn't off of their base salary. It was off of the merch sales, the royalties, all that shit. All right.
Austin had a $2 million salary, I think.
Was it?
And so did The Rock.
Okay. I mean, they were probably the only two.
But they were worth it.
Yeah,
Worth every penny.
but now you hear like guys like Roman Reigns is getting, like 10 million or whatever the fuck it is, and it's like, or Brock, like the money that they're fucking
Well, they
making.
just cut him down.
What?
They had to cut Roman down because he's not giving them the money's worth.
Allegedly. I mean, I'm still not able to find any concrete on that, but I know a lot of guys were asked to take pay cuts. Severe fucking pay cuts.
Why would he refuse to wrestle in June?
That's what's so weird right now is like he is going to be wrestling in June. I guess they preemptively announced dates.
They added it now.
Yeah.
Originally, it wasn't.
I don't fucking know
Definitely
the
a
whole.
money issue.
I'm sure it is.
Issue, dude.
I'm sure it is.
He's not wrestling for free.
Yeah.
Not wrestling for free.
No. Yeah. Nobody's
He's
wrestling
one of
for
those guys
free.
That goes, I know my worth. He's one of those.
And you listen. Every single guy in that fucking locker room should say those exact words. I know my worth. But
get as much as you can.
Yeah, because you're not going to be doing this forever.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
All right. So, Attitude Era is thriving, and something else is about to come and create so much chaos. Part 5 is called Monopoly, Madness, and Ruthless Aggression. So, basically, we're in about 2001, and in January, AOL merged with Time Warner. They wanted no part in WCW. WCW at this time was hemorrhaging money. They lost approximately $62 million in 2000 alone. That's a lot of fucking money to lose, by the way.
Killer.
Jesus.
Obviously, it's a killer, man.
So,
I mean, listen, completely warranted, by the way. Awful booking.
Yeah.
Awful booking for like 2 years straight.
I was going to say, they did the whole bad thing where they brought in Vince Russo, and I still believe that, I know AOL was essentially the nail in the coffin, but Vince Russo did not help to revitalize them at all.
He didn't give it. Whatever magic he had in WWE,
didn't follow him.
He did not bring to WCW. I just don't think he was hungry anymore, and I think he went down there not to destroy them, but like basically to just like throw whatever he could think of at the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he started doing stupid shit like, Viagra on a pole match, Judy Bagwell on a pole. What are you doing? The fucking, he turned on Hogan. Him and Hogan were very much against each other to the point where it spilled out on a fucking live pay-per-view. Come on, man. Like, you guys are running a fucking... I know that, like, it's still pro wrestling and you want it to be this, like, organic shit, but, like, you're running a professional fucking business. Have some semblance of a decorum. Like, that whole moment with Hogan and fucking Bish... What?
There was no decorum.
None. Not between fucking Russo and Hogan. They hated each other.
Well, I mean, look at what happened.
Yeah, I know.
That whole thing at whatever it was.
I forgot what pay-per-view it was specifically. What?
Wasn't it Bash at the Beach or something?
No. I want to say Road Wild.
I mean, why is Hogan feuding with Jeff Jarrett in the first fucking
I don't... Why is Jeff Jarrett the top guy in any company?
Right, because that's his buddy.
Right.
He's not a draw,
no.
dude.
No, I'm sorry. You guys talk about...
He broke the worth more than he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
It's true.
It's the truth.
All right. So, Eric Bischoff actually tried to buy WCW for $67 million in 2001. And they literally had everything but pen to paper. And then Jamie Kellner was basically the chairman of Turner at the time, pulled all broadcasting for WCW. Pulled it from TNT and TBS, and WCW had zero platform to perform on, and that was it. WCW was done. It was a fire sale. Vince apparently purchased, and this sickens me so fucking much. What?
$2 million.
$2.5 million, dude.
Oh, it was very low.
Dude, the whole IPs, tape library, contracts, trademarks, fucking all of it. 2.5.
Yeah, but like, it didn't mean anything. You didn't get the big names, dude.
No, you didn't get shit because Vince turned around and was like, I didn't create this. I'm going to shit on it.
Once again, this whole thing with WCW, why wouldn't you push the guys you do have? Why would you make DDP a stalker and then bury him with The Undertaker when he could have been facing Austin and The Rock?
Yeah.
Why? Like, what are you doing? Why is Booker T fucking getting ripped apart by The Rock on the mic?
I don't know.
Why would you let The Rock bury this guy who you just hired and you're putting him in the main event scene? It makes no sense. This is what I'm talking about. The stupid things that he would allow to happen
Yeah.
are dumb.
The only thing that I can say on what?
No, I was gonna say, I understand like you want to get revenge,
Mm-hmm.
but you purchase the company, you purchase these contracts, use them correctly.
Yeah.
You got revenge by putting them out of business.
I was going to say
That
your
was
revenge. Yeah, your revenge was literally killing them. You bought them. Do something with it.
You killed them.
Yeah.
You killed them, dude. You got revenge. He still wants to get more revenge. Not good enough.
It was never good enough for him. Never. I don't know. I fucking crazy. I mean, listen, 2001, you have the invasion angle. I mean, it's just,
Terrible.
it was so bad. So bad.
The only thing that saved that pay-per-view was Austin turning face.
Yeah.
If Austin didn't turn face, nobody would give a fuck about that pay-per-view at all because it was so badly booked.
It was terrible. And listen,
awful.
Mark and I have talked about it, and we're definitely going to do this episode down the line. I'm not sure when, but we're going to rebook 2001, which includes the invasion angle. And both of us together are going to give you what we think would be a better booking for that era of wrestling. And I think that's going to be a fun episode.
The booking, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Here's what I don't understand.
Good.
Right? Tell me a dummy wouldn't greenlight this. So, your top guy in the company turns heel.
Mm-hmm.
You do him a favor, you do him a solid. Another dumb thing he did was greenlight that.
Right.
Why wouldn't you push back on Austin and say, no, you're not turning fucking heel like he did to Cena? Same thing.
Right.
Tell Austin no. He's greenlighted anyway, okay? So now business is going down every month. Every pay-per-view, boom. Nobody wants to see Austin as a coward.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have Austin make this huge comeback. Everybody's fucking hype, excited. Austin's back. The place is going fucking ballistic. Listen to his ovation he got at the ovation he got at fucking Invasion. It was insane. One of the loudest pops I ever heard.
Yeah.
But what does Vince do? He says, "Oh no, you know what? We're gonna turn him heel again." Why? Why? Like you just now. So now your company's going down. Now your company's gonna start going back up, and you're gonna say, "Nah, I'm gonna shoot it in the head again." This is how big his ego was, dude, that he knew he could turn Austin heel again and kick the fans right in the face and they'd still watch it.
Yeah, that's, I think, what it boils down to is he literally had this thought process that he was the puppet master and we were the piece of shit puppets.
But they proved him right every week.
Every single week we did. I know.
But I didn't. I tuned out.
No, and listen,
I'm not doing it.
No, you and a ton of people that I know, because I tell the story all the time. Like, I never really stopped watching wrestling. I know so many people. I have so many friends that like, I stopped watching it during this time. It's all different. It's all scattered. Usually it's around this era, but there's a lot of us that stuck around and we suffered through it like we were fucking Met fans. So, I mean,
I couldn't do the ruthless aggression and all that stuff. I thought a lot of that stuff sucked. I don't know, man. A lot of the stuff that he was greenlighting, I just didn't get. I understand the matches were like better than the Attitude Era, but like the booking was awful.
Yes,
and it was boring.
Yeah, you're right.
It was boring, dude.
Boring.
Nobody wants to watch boring wrestling.
So, speaking of not wanting to watch boring wrestling, Vince once again tried at another venture. He tried to create the XFL around this time, and it was a flop. I mean, dude. The problem was it was just unhinged. Him and NBC lost $35 million fucking dollars after just one season. It folded. And again, he tried another business venture and it failed. He bought WCW and ECW. He's tried all these ventures. He's got his top guys, Stone Cold, Rock. I mean, Kurt Angle's there, Undertaker. But now we're really turning the tides. It's 2004. WrestleMania 20 is coming around. It's kind of like the new generation, I guess is a way you could put it. And Vince was really, at this point, trying to market smaller guys. You had Eddie and Chris Benoit on top of the program. And the WrestleMania 20 going off was still one of my favorite WrestleMania send-offs of Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, two best friends growing up in the business, on top of WWF as two separate champions at this time. Now, what happened? You found Eddie Guerrero was found dead in 2005, and Chris Benoit, we all know what happened there. I mean, and now Vince McMahon is at the forefront once again because of CTE, drug abuse, again, more fucking narcotics and shit like that, and WWE had to overhaul their fucking wellness policy because Vince has got to be like, my guys are not taking care of themselves. CTE is a serious fucking thing, and the fact that, like, now, thank God, they really focus on that shit. It wasn't back then, man. I mean, I feel so bad for guys like Mick Foley who are still around, thank God, but their bodies are fucked so bad.
I mean, like I said before, it just showed that he really didn't care about his talent.
No.
It was like, produce for me, produce for me, produce for me. Better give me some hot matches, and if you can't do that, then screw you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna bury you, and I'm gonna, whatever I'm gonna do. He doesn't even just fire you. He just completely destroys your character first.
Multiple guys, man. It's so crazy, and I've watched it.
With Austin.
Yeah, he did.
He tried it.
He tried.
Austin's too big. But if Austin was a smaller guy,
forget it.
Would destroy it. Would have ruined him.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move to part 6. We're almost there, guys. Part 6, The Fall of a Titan. Now, after the whole tragedy with the Benoit family, McMahon made
we're not going to talk about him versus Jesus? Versus God or whatever?
Well, was that, it was Shawn Michaels in God versus Vince McMahon, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude, it was...
God damn.
Doing, bro?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Why?
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 Why are you doing this? Why would you bring ECW back and completely just ruin the legacy of
that?
ECW?
I literally, and it's probably the only part of wrestling that I did not watch. The only good thing that came from it was CM Punk.
Yeah, I guess.
That was it.
I'm not a big Punk fan, but if you love Punk, that's cool.
But it showcased guys like a CM Punk. Paul Heyman had a say in WWECW, but it was so trash. It was beyond fucking Kurt Angle. They kind of threw Kurt Angle into it for a little bit. I mean, there were glimpses of hope. What?
Benoit was there, and that's where he lost his mind while he was there.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, man. Obviously, he wasn't checking on his guys.
No. He didn't give a fuck. That's why Punk walked out.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many guys.
All the injuries Punk had, and that Vince didn't give a shit at all.
Yeah. I know. There's so many guys that when they left, they basically didn't come back until they were like, is Vince gone? Okay, Vince is gone. I'll come back. Come on. That's not a telltale sign right there.
I mean, there was a ton of shit. I mean, what about the way he treated the Divas back then?
Yeah.
Right? All that stuff that was going on. That was uncomfortable to watch, I thought.
It was beyond uncomfortable. How about this? I am one that has very vocally stated that I don't like Ronda Rousey. I think she's a stuck-up bitch. But she's so right when she talks about how the locker room was just toxic and fucked up for the women. Like, she's not wrong in when she says that, because a lot of women have said it. Like, being around Vince McMahon as a woman it felt very dangerous.
Dude, the way he was treating Trish and, all those girls back then, and making her a sex slave and all that shit.
So wrong.
Or whatever it was, crawl on your all fours. And I mean, I know it was leading to him getting revenge done to him.
Yeah, but
why?
Yeah.
Like, there was a different way you could have done that.
Agreed. Like, do you know about the whole story that he wanted to do with Stephanie?
Yeah.
Fucking what the fuck?
Yeah, he was gonna have a baby with Stephanie, and that was all his idea. These are the shitty ideas that he
was gonna make out on camera in front of the world with his own fucking daughter.
Thank God. She said no.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And I know for a fact that sick fuck was like, well, you can't give back to the company the way I want. No, dude, it's your daughter.
See, I feel like he manipulated a lot of people with that statement. Give back to the company.
Give
I
back to
feel
the
like that
company.
was like his manipulation tactic,
Yep.
and it worked with a lot of people.
It sure did. Yeah. Well, listen, throughout all of the shit that we got from the Attitude Era, all the shit we just talked about, the PG era was born. And this, man, it was rough, but there was one bright spot in the PG era that came from the Ruthless Aggression era. That was John fucking Cena. Another bigger, larger than life superstar emerged and once again saved Vince McMahon's ass. Again, if it wasn't for Stone Cold, Vince would have died. If it wasn't for Cena, Vince would have died. I mean, how many times he was pulled out of the rubble so many goddamn times?
He only cared about if you were making him a lot of money.
Yeah.
He would let a guy wrestle injured
Yeah.
if he's making him money.
And then he would make them feel bad that they didn't want to wrestle injured. Or he would take away like spots from them.
That's what I'm saying. He would start burying you.
Yeah.
Like a prime example is Austin in 2002. I mean, he knew Austin was slowing down, his neck was going, and look what he starts doing to him. Like, you're old news now.
Yeah.
If you can't give me what you were giving me in 99, well then, you know?
So bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, that guy saved your ass.
Yeah.
He saved your ass, man. I mean, you knew you only had short time with him, too. Like, why would... Just shows you the stupidity of this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate calling him stupid, but he does stupid things. He's not stupid. He just does stupid things, and it's all done with ego and spitefulness and all that
money.
shit.
Ego, spitefulness, and money.
That's all he cares about.
Yeah.
Everything's about money, 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 money. And if you're not, if you were making him $1 million last year, but you didn't make $1 million this year,
He didn't care.
then you're old news.
All right.
And I don't like that, man. There's no loyalty there.
No, and that's the thing. But these guys were so loyal to him. And the ones like John Cena will not say a bad thing about Vince McMahon. Hunter won't say a bad thing about Vince McMahon. Sean refuses. The Undertaker fucking idolizes the guy. So obviously there's shreds of decency and nice in the guy, but it's very few and far between.
Yeah, I don't know. I never got when they would call this guy a genius in the wrestling business, because all I ever saw him do was bullshit.
Yeah.
And he got lucky with the Attitude Era. You know, he got lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
That he had a crew that was so driven to be the man. You know, there was so many guys on that roster that wanted to be the man.
Yeah, and he
never
only
really saw that.
Yeah, he only allowed what he wanted you to see. Is basically what happened. So
he always got bailed. I feel like he always got bailed out. He buried a ton of guys out of spitefulness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like if you see a guy like Dolph Ziggler, and you know the guy has potential, right? And you know he's really good in the ring. Instead of saying like, "Hey, fuck this guy," you know what? He's not producing for me. Why wouldn't you fucking try to help? Like, he never helped any of his guys. He never gave them tips. He never said what I want from you. Nothing. It was always like, I got to figure it out.
Yeah, right.
Tell me what you want.
He tried to bury the New Day, essentially. He basically threw them... Listen, say what you want. The New Day was essentially put out as like this racist fucking propaganda bullshit from Vince's like mind, and they were like, no, fuck this. We're going to take this. We're going to run with it, and they made it something. I wonder if stuff like that pisses Vince off more or less than like somebody coming in that he didn't create and trying to get over in his company, like a Sting or like a Dusty Rhodes. You know what I mean? Like if he gives them shit and they turn it into like chicken, if he gives them chicken shit and they turn it into chicken salad, did that piss him off?
It seems like he'd be the guy that would be mad about that he can't take credit for it.
Right.
But look at like you know, once again, like when he tried to bring Nitro back and he gave Buff Bagwell and Booker T like one match.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I didn't like that match, so fuck this. He cancels the whole thing.
Yep.
You know how much money he could have made if he brought Nitro back?
Tell me this doesn't just... It's so insane how this didn't make any sense. You have a brand split, Raw versus SmackDown. Granted, for a while it did very well, and obviously it's still alive and going today. You're going to tell me you couldn't do WWE versus WCW and just have like essentially two promotions under one banner? I mean, you tried it with ECW. I get it, but come on.
So, all right. So he does the half-ass invasion, but hear my idea real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm not in the industry, by the way, but I think my idea is way better than what he did.
Yeah.
I think that what they should have done had Raw kept Raw the way it was, had Nitro come back, and have them compete against each other, and then at WrestleMania is when you do the invasion.
Yeah.
And they invade Raw. You get WCW built up with new guys or whatever you want to do, bring some veterans in and build it up till it's a really good show, and you have them invade Raw.
It's great.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, he literally sat there, watched Buff Bagwell get put in a chokehold, and go, fuck this.
I mean,
why did you sign these guys? Why?
I don't know. That's what bothers me so much is. Now, listen, you didn't want to buy the contracts of the Goldbergs, the Stings, the whatever until obviously.
Once again, why?
Well, it was too much.
At least buy one of them.
Listen, I will say this. Those contracts were a little ridiculous. Probably didn't want to take on the salary. I understand that part of it. Fine.
How much money he would have made.
I know.
With the NWO and Goldberg and Sting at fucking Invasion.
Yes.
He would have made all that money back and then some.
Tenfold, without a doubt.
It would have been the biggest pay-per-view of all time.
I would take your idea to a step further, not bring it into a WrestleMania, but listen, every year Survivor Series could be WWE versus WCW. I mean, eventually.
Stretch that out. Royal Rumbles could have been both of them coming together. Survivor
Whatever.
Series.
Yeah.
Dude, you could have had a bunch of shows.
There's so many ideas. So many fucking ideas.
And then WrestleMania comes around. Now you give us the dream card.
There you go.
Give us the dream card, man. WrestleMania 19. Give us that dream card.
It's just so stupid, man.
There's no foresight there.
No, he's got.
It's
aggravating.
Ridiculous.
It's so fucking aggravating.
And you know what's sick?
Yeah.
He already had Jericho. He had Benoit. He had Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
How amazing would it have been if they turned their backs on fucking the WWE guys?
I would have loved it.
Switch to Nitro.
I would have loved it.
Right? Let me book your show. It would have been nuts. I would have had the best, not even using Goldberg or NWO. I would have booked a fucking much better show than what your guys are doing.
Well, we will.
You know what he would have done? And you know what he would have done? He would have shit all over my idea.
Without a doubt.
Because it didn't come from him or his guys.
Or he would have saw how good potential it had and he'd be like, this is good shit, and taken it from you and basically pitched it as someone.
You had, if you can't get the big names, you have the guys there already.
Yeah.
You have Big Show. You have DDP. You have Booker T. You have all these guys there, WCW guys also.
Yeah. Yeah, and these were good WCW guys. That listen, they're not every single one of them, but you're talking about Booker T and DDP, for God's sakes.
I mean, and you could have brought in other guys too. I'm sure there was other guys that were willing to come over that he just didn't even.
He probably didn't even give two shits. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, why wouldn't you bring Kurt Hennig back during the Invasion era?
I don't know.
Why would you bring him back in 2002 and just leave him where he's just like in the middle of nothing?
What's so crazy is the reaction he got when he came out for the Royal Rumble was insane. And Vince probably told him, listen, no one's going to remember you, so just go out there and enjoy what you can. And then fucking fans were bugging out about Kurt Hennig.
Dude, what about the ovation DDP got when he took the mask off? That place went fucking nuts.
And then they fucked that up.
And he's booking him like he's a nobody.
It made no sense.
It makes no sense, dude. You could have had huge pay-per-views with DDP.
And listen, I didn't mind putting him with Undertaker. I think that's a great rub. But the way that it was portrayed, him being a stalker, you could have had DDP be this like thorn in Undertaker's side, where for some reason he can't figure out why, but DDP always gets one up on the Undertaker. Why? Because DDP's just got a mind for the business, and he knows that he could be one step ahead of you. Not that he has to be a stalker. Come on, man.
That's complete burial. What he
Look what
did to Booker T at WrestleMania 19,
the worst.
complete burial.
The worst. And
What he
no,
did this thing at WrestleMania again with Triple H was complete burial. I mean, what are you doing?
I don't
You're
know.
hiring these guys. We know we're not stupid. We know who these people are.
Yeah.
He's talking like WWE crowds don't know who these guys are. We all know who these guys are.
You know, he didn't think that AJ Styles was, and he had AJ Styles believing that nobody in that crowd, when AJ debuted, was going to know who the fuck he was.
Like that just shows you how out of touch this guy is.
I know. Like, if he doesn't watch it or if he didn't create it, it doesn't exist.
He does it with all the new guys that come in. If they
Fucking
come from another company, he books them like they're a nobody.
Yeah.
Dude, we all know who all these guys are. We've been dying for dream matches for the last 4 years.
I know.
And now you have the opportunity to give us some, and you're like, nah, these guys are nothing compared to my guys. Look at my guys. Dude, you could have made them something again. You could have brought them back to where they were. If you were that good and you're such a genius, you could have done that. But you know what? You lead with ego. Dumb.
It's true. It is very
It's
true.
dumb. You cut up your nose to spite your own face.
He consistently, like literally more consistently than not, did that. All right.
I mean, there's so many different ways he could have done, like the screw job, the invasion, the even the PG era. Like everything he does is like, I don't know. What are you doing?
It's a man that is out of touch with what is with what's organic and what the fans want.
In touch.
But
that's my point.
That's
He
the
was never in
problem.
touch. Even from the new generation era on.
Yeah, very early
he was
on.
Never in touch. He had no idea of what the people wanted.
I was gonna say, put it this way. I think this is the best way of summing it up. Is that if somebody wasn't there to hold his hand and guide him through a lot of these situations or save his ass, we wouldn't be having this episode right now because it would have all ended back in the 90s.
Yeah, and I wish that he didn't have Bruce Pritchard and Pat Patterson,
The Stooges,
and, you know, George,
Gerald Briscoe,
and all that.
yeah,
Gerald Briscoe. Like these are all yes men. They're not going to tell you that, hey, that idea sucks.
Kevin Sullivan, huge yes man for Vince.
Another one, has his nose up his ass for years.
Yeah.
And like you got a guy like Heyman come in. Heyman comes in what 02, 01?
01.
And now he's writing SmackDown. SmackDown, your biggest show, it beat Raw.
Yeah.
The entire time he was the writer. And you know what? And then I go on, I watch a documentary about it, and I got Stephanie McMahon coming on there saying that Paul Heyman, we use some of his ideas, but not all of them.
Yeah, bullshit.
Go, you should have used all of them.
Yeah.
You are not a better writer, and I hope she watches this. I'm talking like she's gonna watch this, but I hope she does. Because you do not beat Paul Heyman in writing. And booking.
No.
So you're talking like you're booking better than Paul Heyman, which is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and you're telling me like he was the one that wanted to push Edge. He was the one that helped elevate Hogan too while Hogan was there. He elevated The Rock while The Rock was there. Like he was elevating everybody. Kurt Angle, Harvey, like dude, it was nuts.
It was.
Awesome.
And it just shows you again. I would have loved for Paul to have basically just put like Paul with Bischoff, and I know that they really butted heads a lot, but if you put Paul and Eric as like the controlling entities of that WCW segment and have Vince just deal with his WWE, there's no way. It would have shown you consistently that Vince had no idea what the fuck he was doing, and those other two were going to beat him every single week. Because they could have. Vince didn't want Edge. Vince would have been like, "Oh, give me, this guy." They would have taken Stone Cold and been like, "Listen, Stone Cold's a little damaged up. We'll still work with him." Look what Paul did with Stone Cold when he came into ECW originally. He's like, "Dude, I know you're hurt. We're gonna work on your promos. You're gonna give me these great fucking promos," and he did.
And he did.
I can't, man. Like,
did.
We have
everybody who worked with prospered.
We literally have a wrestling prodigy in our midst, and he has been so underutilized for so long in Paul Heyman.
Every documentary I watch where you talk about Vince and Paul, it's like Vince treats him like he's like an annoying gnat that's bothering him. This guy has more instincts than you or anybody in your family has ever had.
Yeah.
He has more instincts than Eric Bischoff too.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has more instincts than anybody that you have on your team.
Yeah.
So what do? Because he talks too much and he's a little annoying. Because he calls you out on your bullshit. He calls you out at meetings about your shitty booking. Yeah, because you know why? Because your booking sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's like I can't put it any more bluntly. Your booking
Sucks.
sucks.
It sucks.
You almost buried your company a few times with your shitty booking.
Yeah.
And your ego's too big where you can't even see. You blame other people. He's that guy that would greenlight something that failed and then fire the guy
Who?
who didn't even greenlight.
I know. I completely agree with you. So let's get into the final part. Part 7, Legacy of a Tyrant, Architect, and Enigma. So now we're coming to the end of Vince McMahon's career. We have all of these reports of this weird scandal going on, and Vince essentially has to step away from the company. Didn't last long at first, 6 months, and then he comes back. He weasels his way in because of his stockholders shit and all this, and then he sells the company to a company called TKO, which is the current owner of WWE. It's a parent company of WWF or WWE and UFC. And now he's dealing with this Janelle Grant lawsuit. And basically, Vince is pulled from TKO. He had a lot of pull at first, not anymore. And I mean, you still hear about Vince McMahon here and there, but all of these NDAs, all of these sex scandals, and do you want to talk about this to go in depth a little bit into this or no?
No, you can. You
Okay.
want?
I have a theory that, yeah, okay, maybe Vince was doing some weird shit with this girl, but listen, it could be both parts of this could be true. Vince paid this woman to be quiet because he's a fucking freak, but maybe so is this woman, and all of a sudden she was like, well, or it's very well could also be the fact that she was so uncomfortable because of who Vince is that she felt obligated to agree to a lot of this shit. Again, I don't know. I'm not part of it. It's all fucked up. All of it is so fucked up. What?
In my opinion,
Yeah, please. I really do.
I think that she was all in 100% up until she found out that she's like, I need some money, and I bet you that she asked him for money off record,
Okay.
and he said no, and then she sued him. That's what I think happened.
Yeah.
She's like, listen, if you don't give me what I want, I'm gonna go and make this public. And Vince said, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he did it, and look what happened. She did. She buried this guy.
Yeah.
But that's his stupid ego getting in the way. If I was him, I would have just paid whatever it was, $1 million or $2 million, whatever she was asking.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, all right, like, and he would have still been going. He would have still been there.
No, it's all over with for him now. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the legacy of WWF is tied to Vince McMahon, and it always will be, just like it's tied to Hulk Hogan and the guys that have helped Stone Cold, John Cena. But Vince McMahon is always going to be talked about as when it comes to the legacy of WWE and pro wrestling for all intents and purposes. At the end of the day, we're talking about all the shit that he did wrong, but some of those wrong decisions kind of led us down this path that we're in now, because if those decisions weren't made, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. Maybe we'd be in a good place with territory still in effect. I don't know. I'm happy with where wrestling's at now.
I'm not.
What do you mean?
I'm not happy with it.
No, what I mean over, like in what sense?
I just think it's way too overproduced. I
Okay.
think the matches are way too choreographed. I
Agreed.
think it's more like a dance now and not a wrestling match.
Mm.
And I'm not a big fan of that. I like back in the day, I know you always shit on Bret, but I got to give Bret his props.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you go and watch a Bret Hart match, he looks fucking exhausted. And the other guy looks like he got an ass beaten.
Yeah.
It looks like a real war. And that's what I want to see when I watch. And I don't get that. I don't feel like Roman Reigns hates CM Punk like back in the day when I thought Austin hated Triple H. Like you could feel the hatred and it was given right back. I don't feel like it's not believable. The actors are not giving you where it's like it comes through and it's you can feel it.
I get where you're coming from wholeheartedly. I actually think that the Punk and Roman one was a poor excuse to use, because I think for the first time I felt hatred between two guys. I still think it was overproduced, but I like the and what you talked about with the Bret Hart match, how like it was grueling, and like you're watching, it's like you really genuinely feel like this guy is so tired that he has nothing left to give. I loved the Punk Roman match for that specific aspect of it.
I like the match.
Yeah, the build
But
not so much.
did I buy into them that they really hate each other? No.
Fair enough.
No, I know he dissed his father, but you know what? That's just shock value bullshit that CM Punk would do.
Yeah, but then you turn around and you apologize for it too, which is like,
Right. That's
why?
stupid. Because he got backlash. But he should said fuck you.
Just own
He
it.
should just owned it.
Own it.
Back in the day, Rock didn't say I'm sorry for burying Billy Gunn.
No.
He didn't come out the next week and say I'm sorry for saying what I said. He said fuck you.
Could you imagine if Stone Cold came out and apologized for shitting on someone during a promo?
It would never happen.
Never. All right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't listen. I'm not asking for the Attitude Era back.
No.
I'm asking for believability to come back.
Agreed.
I'm asking for the guys to be invested, like where Cody Rhodes hits his finisher and the guy looks, he's fucking out. He's done. He didn't hit his chest. He hit his head on the mat like back in the day. Now it's like you get a spear and the guy goes with the spear and it's like the guy falls with it before he gets hit and it just doesn't look like it hurt.
I agree.
Everything looks like a dance.
Yeah, it's choreographed.
I don't want to choreograph wrestling, man. I want where they went at it and called the match as it went along.
I think there's a fine line where you could make happen what you're looking for and still protect the guys, because I know a lot of this stuff is done the way that you don't like to protect these guys. I understand that. I don't want my guys to be injured, which it still feels like they do. But I don't want somebody to be on the shelf for 9 to 12 months like Stone Cold was, or Bret Hart got in the wheelchair. They still utilize them on TV, but I want my guys to be active as much as they possibly can because they're healthy, and that's it's ridiculous how we consistently get this choreographed BS.
Well, Seth, like look at Seth Rollins. Like the guy, how many times has he been injured and injured other people?
It's
like, you know what I mean? And he's following the same thing that they're all doing. Somehow, some of these guys are still getting hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so there's got to be a fine line. Yeah, there's got to be a fine line to doing what you said and still keeping the dignity of pro wrestling alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you live in the past, so you keep going back to the past. Like, yeah, because the past, it was better, man.
It was.
It just was. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, go watch Austin Brett at WrestleMania 13. They would never do that today.
It's unreal.
They could never do that today. Ever.
We talked about it. We just watched that match, that whole pay-per-view. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, this is better than I remember it being. And that match specifically, I always remember that match being good. But I was like, there's just something about this match that it's special. There's something to it.
At it, man.
Yeah.
All the way. They were both at level 11 out of 10.
The whole match.
And they gave it everything they had, man.
Yep.
And you don't get that today, man.
No.
You don't get it.
No, you don't.
I'm sorry. I just feel like it's lazy. It's like, I don't know. But that's just my gripe with it.
All right. You have any last comments for Vince McMahon before we say our piece?
Yeah, I just want to say I don't hate Vince. I don't want this to be like I hate Vince McMahon. I don't hate Vince McMahon. I love the Miss McMahon character.
Mm-hmm.
But I just always called out his shitty booking and him getting credit for everything. And I wanted to do an episode where we can address this.
Agreed.
Call it out.
Agreed. Here's what I'll say.
With the yes men and the bullshit.
Absolutely. Yeah, you called it right there. So if we had a Vince McMahon who was willing to put his ego aside and essentially listen to the fans from the get-go, and maybe not even like cut from under the father and work with his father or whatever the case may be, like, what else would we have gotten? Like, how much different or quote-unquote better would it have been? I don't know, man. Like, I ponder over like what we could have gotten from wrestling had Vince not did what he did. I do it all the time to myself. I'm like, man, like where would we have taken this ship if like it wasn't dissolved into what Vince McMahon dissolved it into?
I don't know. It's like, will we have had a WrestleMania 17? Will we have gone to the stadiums? Will we have had the big the huge shows. Like, I don't know. Would we've had the Attitude Era? I don't know.
Right.
I can't answer that.
That's the thing. It's like this is what we were given, but I would love to just take a time machine and just alter it just slightly just to see what it would look like. Just to know, just be like, okay, maybe we got it. Maybe what we got was better than what we could have gotten. We don't know. We'll never know.
Never know, man. Never know. But I just think that a lot of shit that he did tarnished like a lot of things in wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot
Well,
of stupid things that he made, or his stupid decisions, and don't you dare check me because I'm Vince McMahon. You know, all that crap.
yeah. Stupid.
I'm not there. I had never felt that.
All right, dog. I mean,
All right,
what's better than 2 hours of Vince McMahon, right?
2 hours. I wanted to go an hour.
I know. He goes, dude, we got to do an hour tonight. I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm not opposed to that,
I
but
you had 7 parts of Vince McMahon ready to go.
well, I mean, we still, but yeah, but I mean, honestly, like the script was
There's
the
a lot
script.
more we could have talked about too.
There is a lot more that we did overlook, but listen, I mean, I'm not sitting here for 3 hours talking about Vince McMahon, so. All right. I don't know what's coming up next, but it'll be something good. Hopefully, we'll get on the ball quicker than we have been, but a lot of shit going on. And if you guys are interested, the Knicks are up by 2 right now, and second quarter is about to end, so I'm ecstatic, but just wanted to throw that out there. I know Mark's really excited for the Knicks game, too, so.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, dog.
Very
All right, I'm Mike,
excited. All right. Mark,
and we're good friends.
but better enemies.
All right, peace, guys.